Every month I do a monthly search to see if there's any DOR2s that I missed or if there's any DOR2s that are coming out, and this month I found this fun little listing. In the mix of all the DOR2s, there's this listing that says Hot Wheels World Race and Acceleracers Hot Takes. What does that mean? What are you actually going to get in the mail? I don't know. Let's check it out real quick. So if we check out the listing, there's no pictures, nothing to look at, nothing to show for the actual product. The seller of the product is a Wyman in a maid outfit, which... interesting name, I guess. Oh, and that's interesting. It says it's located in the JC Square Discord. Huh. Well, I mean, why not try it? Add this to cart. Hey everyone, sorry for the interruption. As you can tell, this video is going to be mainly IRL clips, which means I'm not at my good mic. So the audio for this video is going to be a bit scuffed, and I'm going to work on that in the future. I have an idea to make it better whenever I want to do content like this again. But just for this video, if y'all can, like, I don't know, bear it for a little bit, that would be kind of cool. But with that, let's hop right back into it. Now you're probably thinking, Double, you look a lot different from the first clip. And in new clothes. That first clip was recorded like 2 weeks ago. Obviously I got a haircut and all that. But that doesn't matter. Today, you know what? Just play the intro. While browsing the Reddit, I came across this post. It was basically share your hot takes, and then people shared hot takes. Now, I could just take things from the Reddit and make it my content. However, the Reddit is a scary place, and I don't like being there. So, I took to the JC Discord to ask people in there some of their hot takes. For this video, as we look at the hot takes, I'm going to rate it a gas or a crash. It's a crash if the hot take is just bad in general, or I disagree with it. And it's a gas if I think it's okay, or I actually think it holds some merit. And with the intro out of the way, I think it's time to get us into some hot takes. The only hot takes I'm not going to care about are the ones that are like, I think this car should be in some certain team. I think this car should exist in the world. It doesn't matter, man. Have you seen Highway 35? There's approximately like 3 cars that are actually given screen time, and then the rest of them are just backdrafted. Yeah, so I don't care about those takes. Never have, never will. I mean, it's great if you think a certain car should be on a certain team, but like, in terms of takes, there's so many unused cars that they had just lined up ready to give screen time to, and they didn't. So that take, those aren't going to go in the video. Okay, first up we got Speed Hunter. You want a hot take? Brace yourself. BF5 is canon to Acceleracers. It's got Power Rage, it's got that one old smoky Easter egg, and it's got Vert Wheeler. Is that enough to make it canon to you? I don't think so. They're definitely different universes. Didn't Vulcan make like a timeline a while ago of like all the Vert Wheelers and stuff? So definitely is a hot take. I don't think it's gas. I think it's, we're gonna put a, okay, right? So we have gas, we have crash, and then let's put a little third, theories. There you go. So that's going in our theory pile. Next up, we got a take from P the Slayer. Acceleracers aged worser than BF5. You guys seen a problem here? Worser is a word you can use. Doesn't mean it exists, first of all. Second of all, yeah, I mean, it's supposed to age worse. BF5 came out way later, and it probably had more money sunk into it, because Acceleracers was just made for Cartoon Network and for 4 movies, so they had like, I don't even know if their movie budget was that big back then. But have push out a CGI movie of that quality, it's probably pretty good budget. They probably used most of it. But yeah, of course, Battlefield 5 has like a bunch of seasons, doesn't it? And they also had it was probably like a weekly show, maybe. I don't know too much about Battlefield 5, but it definitely had a better budget, which means it probably aged better. It looks better, and then it has more materials that it can build off on. Compared to where Acceleracers has to build off of World Race, but the World Race team and the Acceleracers team aren't the same. As Jeff Gomez said in the podcast with JC, Acceleracers was never his idea. World Race was supposed to get a sequel, and that didn't happen, so I'm sure that the Acceleracers team and the World Race team never really talked to each other, so they didn't know where each one was going. So yeah, when you have more to build off of, and more money probably sunk into your show, considering it gets more seasons, you probably are going to age slightly better than the one that only got 4 movies and a prequel, if you want to count that. I forgot to say, the last take, gas. I mean, yeah, honestly, I agree with it. There's, as much as I love Acceleracers over Battle Force 5, yeah, it definitely aged worse than BF5. Next up, we got one from GT Cone Shaker, CEO. Acceleracers was never better than World Race, and a Season 2 would have hurt the series more than helped it. Etc. Or example, the toys that were supposed to be released. I 100% agree with this. I'm not a big, like, thing turned into weapon. And if you ever, I'll put a picture of the toys on the screen right now. Their cars were going to turn into weapons. Or that's what we think was going to happen. So I am actually... I'll be crazy. Kind of grateful we never got Acceleracers 5. I didn't want that to happen. I know Transformers was really big at the time, so transforming things was like cool with the kids. But I personally was never a big fan of it. I know a lot of Acceleracers fans are, so that's good for you. But I was never a big fan, and when I seen the toys, I'm like, yeah, kind of glad they didn't finish this and go this route. I think it definitely would have messed up the flow of the movies, because it was mostly about driving. Even in the ultimate race, I mean, Galoran pulls out like the Accelerachargers and uses them as weapons, and then you have like the racing drones turning their cars into weapons. But that's what made them unique. If you're giving all that power to the Acceleracers and even probably the Silencers, what makes the drones unique? They're robots. Cool, I guess. Good take. Big fan of that one. That one is definitely going gas. Next up, we got one from Crazy Gamer 742. World Race was just better at everything: animation style, character design, and the writing. Where Acceleracers really suffered on the animation and the writing department. It feels like they had a lower budget to work with. I like this take, because I also believe this. There's a race in World Race, I'll probably put it up, that I always say is my favorite race out of any of the movies. It's the one between Banji and Kurt on the second leg of the World Race. The one where they're in the jungle. The animation is so fluid. It's so good. Whatever they put in the animation team that day, they were cooking. That was like a 3-course Sanji meal. It was insane. And then you have like parts of Acceleracers. There's one part in Ignition when Kadeem is driving in front of or behind a racing drone, and then there's like a ball of electricity. I'm probably showing it on screen right now. Ball of electricity coming up, and his car just goes... It just makes like a straight, I don't even know how to explain it. You're seeing it on screen, but the animation is so terrible, I guess. It's not good. It's not fluid. I don't like it. I definitely agree with the animation part. So let's talk about the writing. The writing in Acceleracers is good. I would argue it is better than World Race. World Race is definitely way funnier and wittier, and this is a whole other video that I want to do eventually. So if you steal my video idea, I'm not going to do anything, but I'm going to be very upset. I think the humor and stuff in World Race is more lighthearted, because, you know, they don't got like racing drones trying to kill them every 20 seconds, but so I think that's definitely better. But in terms of like giving characters arcs and stuff, I think Acceleracers does an extremely better job at it. I like Vert's arc where he gets all depressed after losing a bunch and then coming back and just being Vert is really good. I think Kurt's redemption arc where he gets to put all the Acceleracers together and then go save Marky is really good. They did a good job with Nolo, because in the beginning I hated Nolo. Nolo was like bottom tier Teku for me, and then towards the end when he makes up with Torque, they're such a good team that it's like, damn, how did you guys fumble him? How did you guys make him this unlikable in the beginning just for him to come back and like then he becomes like top 3? Shirako doesn't have much background. He's just there for the aura, I guess. Karma they could have done better with. I think Karma could have definitely had more. I like what they did with Lonnie and Tesla. Tesla just becomes like insane, more insane than he was in World Race, but he's Tesla. I don't like Marky. Mark Wild. I think he's better once he gets saved, and then all that, of course, because he's got his like little redemption. But I don't like him pre-Ultimate Race. Not a fan. He's just very hot-headed. He wasn't the best in World Race either. He kind of was just also hot-headed. Like when he jumped the ice in the 4th leg, when Vert was telling him, you know, don't do that, Lamau. Then Marky just explodes. So there's that. So I think Acceleracers, it also has 4 movies, so you can definitely pack more into it versus World Race is like hour and 45 minutes. World Race was also very heavily centered on Vert, while Acceleracers kind of gave a lot of people, a lot of different characters more screen time, like Nolo, Torque, Taro got some screen time, Kurt got some screen time. So in terms of writing, I do think Acceleracers is better at that. I feel like Acceleracers had a lower budget than World Race. I do too. I think so too. I don't know why. It just doesn't feel like I talked about in the last hot take. It doesn't feel as fluid as World Race was. Also, they didn't have licensed cars, so I guess maybe that could have played a factor into it. Yeah, it just doesn't feel like the budget was as big, but maybe they went in having a set budget and they were like, you got, and whoever was at the top was like, you guys have to make 4 movies, take this budget, figure it out. So that's a guess take. Big fan of that one. I actually very much agree with almost all of your points. Next up, we got one from Dashi. AR not having the cel-shaded cartoon outlines and making everyone wear shoes the size of their own heads was a poor choice. Yes. Yeah, the character design is not, I guess, not great for Acceleracers. I remember going in and going, what happened to their feet? How do they drive like that? Like, is there like their brakes and their gas pedal like massive? But yeah, I don't think the character design was good. Nobody in the community says, at least most people don't say the character design was definitely good. The cel shaded in World Race, oh my god, it looks so good. If you guys didn't know, I have a World Race bias as it is my favorite out of the 5 movies. I mean, if you like the more down-to-earth cars, less fantasy, then you're probably going with Acceleracers, but I'm personally a big... Yeah? I like the more fantasy cars. DR2 and Slingshot are probably my favorite. Call me basic, but good take. Definitely a gas take. Next up, we got one from Galestorm. I think a good half of the cars in Acceleracers are pretty overrated and are only liked for nostalgia reasons. I think they are rated fairly. There's definitely a couple overrated, like, okay, you ready to get your pitchforks out? I don't like reverb. It is just a brick. It is a blue brick. It even feels like a blue brick. It is super heavy. Oh, I guess this thing is super heavy and could be used as a brick, hypothetically. But yeah, I don't like reverb. It's just a long rectangle with orange and white. So there's that. I think bassline's overrated. As if you guys didn't watch my my other video, How Practical Bassline, it's just a truck with speakers. Great. Everyone just likes Scirocco. The car really has nothing to it. Not necessarily overrated, but a car I don't like is... High Voltage? It was either High Voltage or Spectite, or maybe both. I don't like either of them. Nolo is... in any fan art you ever see, Nolo is only with Synchro. There's a reason for that. His other 2 cars suck. Most of the cars from the Accelerator side, or from the Teku side, didn't get good after they were like replaced. I think Slingshot to Battle Spec was good. I do like Battle Spec. That one looks good. For Kurt, Power Rage is very like basic, right? It's like you load up a Need for Speed game, and that's the base car you're getting. It just looks super basic. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing. I think it's a tad bit overrated. Most of the Silencer cars are underrated. I like Nitrium. But all the Silencer cars I think look pretty damn good. I like all the drone cars. They too look really good. That's a crazy take since we just had the Silver Series come out. The rest are on my floor right now. So that's a good take. I think for Metal Maniacs, honestly, there's not like a Metal Maniac car that I dislike besides Rolling Thunder. Just looks like a, I don't know, normal car. Nothing against that, but like that thing is not hitting 300 miles per hour. I don't know what monkey put in that thing, but not in this century. Honestly, I'm gonna say gas take. I wouldn't say overrated. I would say fairly rated, but there are definitely some cars that are... Yep, definitely overrated. Alright, our next take comes from Acceler23. Any movie after Ignition had no real threat to the drivers besides the Ruins Realm. Yes, I also think so. Ignition had the Storm Realm and the Swamp Realm. The Swamp Realm was a menace to the drivers. Like, the one mosquito just almost straight up kills Taro. If he aimed a little bit better, Taro would have been gone. And then you got all the monsters and the slugs and stuff, and then the big tentacle monster at the end. The Storm Realm had the electricity, which knocked out Slingshot and Taro. I think Taro just hit a pole really hard, but so there's that. I think because the Water Realm wasn't bad. It was just kind of Porkchop being in his own head, and then the fish didn't really pose a threat to that many drivers, besides like that one drone that got eaten. But besides that, it didn't really pose a threat. They were kind of just outside while the drivers were in the tube. Neon Pipeline Realm, that one could be argued with how fast the stuff come up, but I feel like the drivers had enough time, and the main problem was the sweeper, and then it got stuck. If they didn't have good like coordination in that realm, it might have been more of a problem because they needed to use drafting a lot. Incredible card in the card game, guys. Just by the way, if you were looking to play, I'm always down. I think the junk realm could have been worse. They do have that big swinging ball thing that knocked out a silencer, so junk realm could have been a little bit more dangerous. And then you got the big magnet that could have crushed Vert if you didn't use the jump jets. So there's that, and then you got like the micro episodes. You got the cave, the lava. The ruins realm is a menace. That one was crazy. That one had the big golem. Oh, the metro realm. That one, I mean, you had the trucks. The distance map is really hard. But other than that, I don't think the metro realm was that bad. It was mostly just drone versus driver. Other than the big truck that almost killed a couple of people. But other than that, I think it's good. I think it probably was easily avoided. Nolo used the Swamp Realm Acceleracharger and then got himself stuck and then almost killed average Nolo. I think this is a good take. I think. And then the Ultimate Race is just all of them combined. Cosmic Realm, there is no threat. I'm gonna be so for real. It is literally just the drones for the threat. All they needed to do was keep on track. That was it. So let's go into the gas pile. We have a lot in the gas pile, one in the theory pile, and straight up nothing in the crash pile. So, let's move on to Falcon Vugan. Hot take, I could have made Galorum hotter in the fog realm, but toned it back to keep the world safe. What a take, Falcon. Smash, I mean gas. We have another one from Acceler23. Hot take, slapping Teku logos on cars doesn't make it cool, just rice. I agree. A lot of people will just slap a Teku logo and make it blue, white, and orange and be like, good car. But you see, it doesn't have to be blue, white, and orange. Look at Synchro. That thing's gold, and it's got like white and blue. I do have one to show you. Hold on. Okay, well, my copy of Synchro is orange, but I could have sworn he's gold in the movie. But like, it looks so good. Like the dragon, nobody put some cool Teku stuff on it. But don't just do the logo. Don't get me wrong. The front has the logo. But like the dragon, no one else got a dragon. Who's got a dragon? But like a monkey on yours. Actually, don't. That's probably more of a Metal Maniac thing. But put like something cool on there. People just go with the normal like Horror Rage type thing or Battle Spec. There's no point. You just make something cool. Do something cool. Do something cool. If you do libraries, sure, you can do 1-to-1. That's great for you. Good for you. But like that's so basic. There's no creativity. Let your passion flow for the Teku. Don't just slap something on the side and call it a Teku. That's all. That's all I have about that raid. So yeah, that's a gas take as well. Okay, for the last one for this video, I'm gonna go with Alsegs. The Teku are the worst team, LOL. Yes, I will have to agree with you. I think if we match them up, like we have team leaders, so you got Torque versus Nolo. Nolo's extremely hot-headed. From as we can see from the Battle of the Coast, he's not bad. He's okay. Under no circumstances are any of these drivers bad, right? They raced at 300 miles per hour through the racing realms, right? They're all good drivers. Some of them are just better than others. Torque is a lot more. He is also slightly like hot-headed, but he's like more down to earth. He's not taking as many risks as like Nolo, especially during the first like the Battle on the Coast. He's just kind of leading the pack while Nolo is suffering in the back. Nolo's also really in his head about Tone and doesn't want to make the same mistakes that Tone did. So that always is just a factor that he has to think about. And then I'm going to put Taro against Karma. I will say this and I will continue to say this. Taro is the best Acceleracer World Race driver that they have made. He's very down to earth. Besides in the Ice Realm when he thought he saw Karma. It'd be like that sometimes. But he's a super good driver. He tied in the world race with Kadeem. He would have won, maybe would have won, in quotes, the Junk Realm if he didn't push the silencer out of the way to let Kurt win. He, in world race, when the fake wheel was rolling, he's seen that it was like a dupe in his head, which was an extreme gamble, by the way. Bro just risked $5 million on a hunch, but good for him. The cars he drive, kinda clean too, I'm gonna be honest. He did the water realm not once, but twice, and in 20 minutes, which is insane, I guess. He's a good team player. I think he's just overall, like, the best driver that they have. And then Karma, I wish she got more screen time. I would love to see how her perfectionism like affected her driving. She only gets a couple races. I know she gets like hit by Porkchop while entering a race and then just sits out for that one. She definitely needed more screen time, so I can't really compare the two other than knowing she's a perfectionist. I feel like if she messed something up even once, it would probably just get into her head and then she'd probably start I don't know, not doing as well. But the perfectionism would be really cool to see if they gave her more screen time. I think honestly the worst driver is probably Monkey, just because he low-key doesn't want to be there. He just wants to get paid, which real in this day and age, real as hell. But yeah, so there's nothing wrong with that. He's just driving Rolling Thunder. He's just there to be there. I think Scirocco is an okay driver. Definitely not the best by any means. He's very, like, in the water realm, he isn't really paying attention to the track and cares more about just, like, getting footage and stuff, which, okay, cool. That's kind of his spiel. In the cavern realm, he almost, like, kills half the drivers because his music just creates stalactites. And then he saves them with like the echolocation thing. So there's that. I think he's a cool driver. I don't think he's the best. I think also the Cliffside realm, when his music was pumping and Kurt was like, "Yo, you got a EDR," because his brakes were cut. Yeah, that was probably not a good look, honestly. Other than that, I think Scirocco's a pretty okay driver. I think Vert is Vert. I'm gonna leave it at that. I think Porkchop is actually a good driver. Believe it or not, he drove the big rig through the realm, which is an insane feat. I don't know how that thing made it through the portal. Kept calm during the swamp realm, besides when he bit the tentacle, which was funny. Big fan of that one. I think he's a good counter to Monkey, who's very like on the edge all the time. Porkchop's very calm and relaxed, besides in the water realm as well. So there's that. I think Porkchop's probably a pretty good driver. Kurt, like I talked about before, is a good driver. He's just very hot-headed, especially in World Race, and then he damages his leg, and Acceleracers probably throwing off his game a tiny bit. So I think overall, it's gotta be the Metal Maniacs. Or you could give it to the Silencers, because they're just like perfect. They're pristine pretty much, besides that one that gets yoinked in the junk realm. But like, the Silencers are what the Acceleracers want to be. And then the racing drones are just drones. So racing drones are racing drones. I don't know, not much about them. But if you were given a team, I'd probably say Silencers, Metal Maniacs, Teku, and then racing drones, just because, man, they're racing drones. Doesn't matter. So with that, I think that's gonna cut it here. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you like this new style, new form of content. I like doing IRL stuff because I can just like chill. Don't really need to throw gameplay in the background. Or maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see. Check out the YouTube shorts. They're kind of popping off. And with that, I would like to come to a conclusion. Your hot takes? Oh, obviously the last hot take was gas. I don't think I had to say that, but yeah, gas take. At least from my point of view. With that, Double A Gamer out. Cheers.